Let's now have the sum and product of roots of quadratic equations. We now discuss how the sum and product of the roots of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 can be determined using the coefficients a, b, and c. Okay, remember that the roots of a quadratic equation can be determined using the quadratic formula, which is x is equal to negative b positive and negative square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. From this formula, let our x sub 1 be negative b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, and our x sub 2 negative b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And let us now find the sum and the product of these roots. Let's have the sum of the roots of quadratic equation. So we have x sub 1 plus x sub 2. Our x sub 1 is this and our x sub 2 is this. So simplifying, so since these fractions are similar fractions, copy lang natin ang denominator nila, which is 2a. Then copy lang din natin ang numerator, negative b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac minus, since this is negative, minus b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Okay, we have x sub 1 plus x sub 2 is equal to, our denominator is 2a. Then for our numerator, makakancel out si positive square root of b squared minus 4ac and negative square root of b squared minus 4ac. We will now be having negative b minus b is negative 2b. Then simplifying, x sub 1 plus x sub 2 is simply equal to, makakancel natin yung 2 dito, we have negative b over a. So negative b over a is the sum of the roots of quadratic equation. Next, product of the roots of quadratic equation. So for the product of x sub 1 and x sub 2, we have this, our x sub 1 times our x sub 2. So simplifying, we have x sub 1 times x sub 2 is equal to, since these are fractions, so ang pag-multiply natin, numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. And kung mapapansin natin, our numerator are sum and difference of two terms. So pwede natin siyang i-express as quantity negative b squared minus quantity square root of b squared minus 4ac squared all over 2a times 2a, or simply 2a squared. Then simplifying, we have, so negative b squared is b squared. Then makakancel ang ating radical sign dito and yung exponent na 2. So we'll be having b squared minus 4ac times negative. So that is why we have b squared times negative is negative b squared. And negative 4ac times negative, we have positive 4ac. All over our denominator, 2a squared is 4a squared. Then again, simplifying, makakancel ang ating b squared dito. So we have now 4ac all over 4a. So pwede ring makancel ang ating 4a dito sa numerator and 4a dito sa denominator. Since a squared ang meron sa denominator, may matitira pang a dito. So for our final answer, we have the product of the roots of quadratic equation, c over a. Okay po. Again, this is the product of the roots of quadratic equation. So, paano ba siya gagamitin? Let's have an example. Find the sum and the product of the roots of 2x squared plus 8x minus 10 equals 0. Okay, so first step to find the values of a, b, and c. A is 2, b is 8, and c is negative 10. So, let us find the sum of the roots. Again, ang sum natin is negative b over a. Yan yung nakuha natin kanina. So, we have x sub 1 plus x sub 2. Our b is 8. So, negative b is negative 8. All over our a is 2. So, we have here 2. And negative 8 over 2 is simply negative 4. So, ibig sabihin, si negative 4 ang sum ng roots natin. Okay, how about the product? For our formula, we have c over a. Ito yung nakuha natin kanina. And substitution, our C is negative 10 and our A is 2. So, negative 10 divided by 2 is simply negative 5. Okay? So, check lang natin kung tama ba yung nakuha nating sum and product of our roots. Let us find the roots of this equation. Puprove lang natin kung tama. Again, these are the values of our A, B, and C. Let us find the roots using quadratic formula. So, substitution, we have negative 8, positive and negative square root of 8 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 10 all over 2 times 2. So, we have negative 8, positive and negative square root of 64 plus 80 all over 4. So, we have negative 8, positive and negative square root of 144 over 4. Square root of 144, we have positive and negative 12. Okay, simplify natin. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2 and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So, for our x values, we have x is equal to negative 2 plus 3 and x is equal to negative 2 minus 3. Simplifying, x is 1 and x is negative 5. So, these are the roots of the equation. Try lang natin kung tatama yung nakuha nating sum and product ng roots. Okay? Again, our roots are 1 and negative 5. Let us find the sum. So, simply, 1 plus negative 5 and 1 plus negative 5 is negative 4. So, again, kanina, negative 4 yung nakuha nating sum. So, tama tayo. Next, how about the product? So, we have x sub 1 times x sub 2 is equal to 1 times negative 5. And 1 times negative 5 is simply negative 5. And yung nakuha nating product kanina, we have negative 5. So, tama tayo. Okay, this time, you may pause this video and try to answer this problem. Find the sum and the product of the roots of x squared plus 7x minus 18 equals 0. So, first is to determine the values of a, b, and c. Our a here is 1, b is 7, and c is negative 18. So, for our sum, we have negative b over a. Our b is 7, so we have negative 7 over our a is 1. Negative 7 divided by 1 is negative 7 for our sum. And for the product, we have c over a. So our c is negative 18 and our a is 1. So negative 18 divided by 1 is simply negative 18. That's all for today. I hope that you learned something in this video. See you in our next lesson. God bless and keep safe, Batang IS.